Play of the game from way down.
Two, Silence, Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring! Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer!
Oh, the life finder keeps Maya up. It was gonna be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series, Season 7, Week 6. We're going from D East to C East. I am doing well, Mantis. Thank you very much for asking. We're gonna see. Oh my goodness, Alice is very talkative tonight. I apologize, everybody. Save the Murloc versus Bancho tonight, and we do have the first team is in here. So this was actually scheduled to start about 20 minutes ago, but the teams elected to go ahead and wait a few minutes so that we could jump in, get another cast in on this. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. And Bancho is a team I'm personally familiar with. I played against them a fair bit in... Oop, I invited you to game instead of into the lobby. Invite to... How do I invite you to the lobby? Well, okay. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Let's see. Let me let Bluestein know just to be sure. But anyway, so we've got one team in. We're able to get in a second here shortly. And let me let them know where the show is here. Twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm. There we go. Now they know. So they can send all their friends, family, coworkers, their dogs as... Holy cow, all of the dogs want my attention. They are all over this place. Thank you. So you guys don't get to hear Al very often, but he's making his presence known. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You're a good dog. And for those of you that are unaware, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pop up Al's very own emote, because that's what we do here, is we make emotes, and dogs complain about them. And that is the Arrow of Good Boy emote, which is Al. But let me tell you, he's not been a good boy today. He's been a pain in the neck. Managed to eat my sandwich earlier when I took the other two dogs out. What a jerk. But anyways, that's enough about me. Let's talk about these teams. Standings. Let's check them out. Oh, another dog. Oh, I love that dog. All right, so standings. Where are we sitting at for these two teams? Let's go ahead and get highlights for them. So we've got the, who do we have? Bancho and Save the Murloc. So these teams are right next to each other in the standings. Let me fix it so that it shows all the teams. Number 10 and number 11. So 5 points and 3 points. Trying to climb their way up and maybe overtake the calculated throw team. One game is not going to be enough for either to make it. So they're going to need to get that 2-0 victory, get some points, and maybe push that push the points upwards there. I think all of the teams still have a shot at making it into the playoffs. Aren't they though? They really are the best casters. Let's see, map-wise, what do we got? We got Save the Murloc, Banning Out, Alterac Pass, and Towers of Doom. We're going to see Bancho banning out Battlefield of Eternity. I'm sorry, banning out Cursed Hollow and Volskaya Foundry. Battlefield of Eternity is actually going to be the pick. And I think we've got all 10 players in here. And let me just make sure. We do have a sub in for Save the Murloc. So I think that their captain is actually the one that's out. Take a look here. Hey, Alpha, you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah, you're doing really great there. Come here. Well, Alpha is doing just fine sitting on her bed. She has no interest in coming up and saying hi to you guys. I'm sorry, but Alice did, but Alice is way too big to pick up for right now. And it looks like we're ready to get this started, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button and get this going. So Battlefield of Eternity is going to be game number 1. Let's take a look at what these guys have been doing. So, Save the Murloc. Let's take a look here. Save the Murloc has played 6 matches so far. They have won so far none of them, but they have taken points off of Duratan's Couch, Boogan Squad, and Do It Right. So their first 3 games of the season, they took points. And let's take a look for Ban Cho here. So Ban Cho has played also 6 games. Ban Cho took a point off of Wood League. They took a point off of Lubu. So there you go. First ban is Kira, but that's not really required. I think that... and I can't even talk to him. I don't know that they even know that Kira's not available. Well, alright, well that's up to them. I'm not... I would love to talk to them, but if they're not going to say anything, then I'm not going to worry about it. Next ban on the Asmodan. So no Asmodan bombs. You know, this is a map, I don't like Asmodan here. I've seen people play him here. I guess the idea is that he can, you know, bomb into a group of enemies and, you know, do big damage and stuff like that, but yeah. And we're gonna see the variant ban. So, you know, these are some bans that you don't see a lot of on Battlefield of Eternity because of their, you know, comparative lack of value on the map, I think. Yes, that is true. Kira is out until tomorrow. The F's coming out in chat, indeed. So first pick. Oh, you know what? I have a friend here, guys, who just decided she wanted to say hi. So we're gonna see this at Nubrak pickup. I'm gonna pop over real quick. All right, say hi to everybody. Say hi. She specifically came over here to say hi. So there you go, everybody. This is Alpha saying hi. Wave. Hi, everybody. All right, we're going back to this draft. There you go. Good girl. All right. So a Nubrak going to be the first pick coming out from Save the Murloc, and then we're going to see Artanis and Ana for Ban Cho. So Artanis, obviously the more common race pick for Battlefield of Eternity. And there's the race for Save the Murloc. So going with the Vala Oriole. So Vala getting that boost here not too long ago. Kind of like to see that. Let's see, who do we have? Let's start typing in names here so that I can be caught up. Hello, 145. And we're going to see the Cho. So, you know what? That's fair. I could actually see them going into a Cho'Gall with this comp so far. So that's I think that's a good ban for them. And, you know, I hate to even speculate on what they would ban because I feel like their other bans just haven't really gone the direction that they... you know, that they could. So Greymane, okay, you know what, Greymane's a decent ban, like, especially into that Nubrak. He could get a lot of value. So Jaina Johanna. So now you're gonna see the nano boosted Jaina, most likely anyways. Let's see this. Chen and Gul'dan. So, okay, so now we've got 2 Oriole targets. Quinhall. Let's see what we get out of Quinhall here. So we've got a solo. We've got Jaina for Mage Burst. So maybe Raynor is available still. So I could see a Raynor pickup here. You know what? That is true. You are absolutely correct. I don't think that we've seen that. Good call. Wow. Oh man, you love to see it right here on the stream. Here we go. Let's see. Pop that over to the game side. Let's see, did anybody switch? Bluestein, Ski, okay. Alright, looks like we're all good there. Oh, shoot. All right then. All right, so here we go. Game number 1 between Save the Murloc and Bancho. Let's go ahead and get these teams introduced on the way here. We see Odium Reigns on the Anubarak, Apollo 145 on Vala, Seanwell, I guess, on Oriel, Corey on Gul'dan, and Chen is going to be played by Shaggy. And for Bancho, we've got Skev13 playing Artanis, Johanna going to be played by Spice, Anna played by Bluestein version 2, Quinhall on Raynor, and Sluggaden on Jaina. So there we go. Let's pop up these talents here. Take a look at what's going on with the teams now. And there we go. So we do have the amateur opponent for Artanis. We've got the Exterminator for Raynor, so lots of race potential here coming out from Bancho. And I'm not sure. I feel like they've got the advantage in the race. I'm not sure how Gul'dan really compares in this. Obviously, Vala going Monster Hunter is going to get a lot of value there. And Chen also, I don't think gets a lot of, you know, immortal burn, but they do have a pretty decent front line with the Chen value there. Anubarak could get kind of shredded by that Raynor. So I don't know. This is an interesting balance here. But we do see the first camp picked up by Save the Murloc. And that on-a-grade grenade, if timed well, can really cause problems for this enemy team. As really, I mean, you've got the Gul'dan who's trying to heal himself. You've got the Oriel with the AoE healing. So a well-placed honor grenade as if she sees the team kind of trying to gather up for that heal could really make a bad day for Save the Murloc. And we're seeing that blizzard damage as Vala vaulting away, and ultimately they get away. Let's check in on this top lane though. Shaggy getting pretty low as Skev really putting it to him there. And we'll head back down because Johanna's pretty low as well. 2.5 minutes. Immortals coming online. Sluggaden and Bluestein coming over here, getting on to their camp. We've got 3 of them. Corey, Apollo, and Seanwell on the Shaman camp on the left side. So lots of Shaman camps going on. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the Artanis go for the camp here real quick in the top. It looks like for right now they're just focusing on the XP. And here we go. Racing has begun. 4 versus 4, now 5 versus 4 here with the defense as Chen is up trying to clear out the camp, but we do see the big swap on Oriel, does throw out the detainment strike but doesn't land it there, and now Vala and Anubrak having to back away as the race continues nearly to halfway point here. It's just Sean. Okay, we'll go with Sean. That seems completely reasonable. All right, so let's pop up here a little bit so we can see both sides as Anubrak is coming back in. And in the back here, we've got Jaina going to tap. She needs that mana here. And the race, again, just watching that health bar drop so fast from amateur opponent. And a full shield immortal coming up for Ban Cho here. And they're going to rotate down onto the Anubrak. But not really able to do anything to him. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that they would have done a little bit more onto him. So once again, 4v4 in the bot lane, now with an immortal, but Vala getting really low there from just behind the wall damage. And Chen and Artanis back up in the top lane, doing their solo lane things. Is Vala able to vault away there just to get away from the blizzard, but the penetrating round coming from Quinal finishes the job. And Odium going a little far forward, has to burrow charge out, but now the condemn coming in from Johanna. We might see some continued chase, but it looks like that level 4 speed boost on the shield allowing Odium to get away. And they still have half of the health on this immortal. I mean, I think that they can get some wall damage here. I don't think that they're going to be able to do much more than that. But also, here comes the call onto the Rainer. I think that's a little bit early, considering they're still an immortal and the rest of his team was behind that wall. If that was a few moments later, then maybe they could make something happen. If he had Storm Earth and Fire, maybe that also could have worked, because then he's got that root. Now, interestingly enough, Vala not going into the stackable quest at 4, instead taking the multi-shot, but then taking the additional Hungering Arrow at level 7. That's, I don't know. I think that really slows down their race potential. But we do see the burrow charge in, trying to get to the Ana, but it's going to be Vala being taken out by Raynor here. Spice going fairly low, but it's Odium that's in danger in the back there, slugging and finishing that. And Spice just trying to stay alive. Bluestein trying to shoot him over the wall. And does keep him alive, and that's going to give the camp over to save the Murloc. Yikes. That was a close fight. Ana had no health and no mana. Johanna had almost no health. And Chen looks like was able to pick up that top camp here, as Oriel getting caught and just deleted. And the sleep dart goes out, hits Apollo. So Apollo in a bit of danger here. This very much like the last time we were in this position just a few moments ago, where Vala about 500 health and then got just completely obliterated by an auto attack, I think, Raynor, and then a penetrating round. So she has to go back and tap. Chen now maybe is gonna back off. Maybe not. I thought he would, because I thought these guys were gonna rotate up and kill him, especially with their level 10s now. We do have Water Elemental. We've got the Hyperion, Suppression Pulse, Blessed Shield, and Nano Boost. Halftime going over to Ban Cho. Not too far behind, especially considering they started late, and it looks like both teams are just going to get right onto their own Immortal, and we're going to see this going down really quickly here with that Exterminator / amateur opponent value coming out from Ban Cho. Top lane has one tower down for each side, but the Immortal is going into the blue side. All right, let's take a look at these towns. We've got Crystal Aegis, Horrify, Rain of Vengeance, the Cocoon, and I mean, it's going to be Storm Earth and Fire, right? It's got to be. So there's the Suppression Pulse. Rain of Vengeance hits the Johanna, but the Gul'dan's the one that gets the Crystal Aegis. Vala, however, being taken out with the pressure coming out from this nano-boosted Jaina. Cocoon going out, keeping her locked down as well. And that gives them the fort and still a full health Immortal. No shielding now, so it is in melee range. Pulling him in, Johanna here as the sidewall going down. I believe she just used, she did, the Blessed Shield there. And they're going to secure that kill onto Gul'dan, and this Immortal is just about out of health, but they do still have a lot of value here, a lot of auto attack damage, and the Jaina continued pressure sustaining through and allowing them to get that keep. Suppression Pulse once again going out in this 5 versus 4, as big Stormwrath and Fire Root now may be able to get the kill onto the Jaina, but the Sleep Dart knocking out 2 of the pandas. Vala instead able to get the Johanna. And it looks like they're trying to chase down the Ana. The Burrow Charge will catch her. Impale going out, and that should be the end of this old grandma. So 2-kill consolation prize for Save the Murloc. They traded 2 kills for their top keep. Ultimately not a great trade, but you know what? They got more value than they could have gotten, which was 0. Level 13's coming up. We've got, which one is that? Is that the stun one? Yeah, removing stuns, giving armor for that for the smelling salts, so that's fair. And Save the Murloc trying to take advantage of their 3 kills here, but they are down a talent here. 4 versus 4 once again up in the top. There's no Stormwrath and Fire this time. Cocoon on to Raynor, and Crystal Aegis on to Chen. Sluggadin in quite a bit of danger here, but the grenade and healing coming out from Ana keeping Sluggadin alive. Jaina coming back in with that nano boost, and the swap onto a Nubarak secures them the kill as the tower slowing him down. And now the rotation coming into the Bruiser camp, maybe? Yeah, and while that was going on, Artanis was able to pick up their Shaman camp in the top lane. So once again, they're going to have a lot of pressure here. And I do not like Save the Murloc coming in on this. I don't know how they think they're going to win a 5 versus 3 fight here. But they're certainly going to give it a try. Panda's going out, trying to do what they can on this point, keep them from securing it. Now Gul'dan looking like he's going to go down. He is. They do get the kill onto Johanna, so there's that. But also Oriel went down. The swap almost hitting Apollo, but Apollo's going to go down from the Jaina damage. Somehow, they're actually getting some kills out of this, but only a Nubarak left. Of course, he was late to the party because he was dead earlier. And now they're going to get on the race as they've got the Shaman camps going both in top lane and bottom lane. All right, halftime done. See where this is going on the aggressive side. So Save the Murloc having to defend against a pretty significant wave, and now this fully shielded Immortal is going to be heading in the bot lane where there's already pressure from the camp and a pretty significant minion wave. All right, this is pretty much kind of do or die moment for Save the Murloc. And they're doing it down 16s. And here comes a full shielded Immortal. I don't like their chances right now. They've got to get some kills here. I think that probably the best thing would have been to sneak in from behind, but ultimately the Cocoon going out onto Raynor, the Hyperion just spreading that damage out. A lot of low health bars on the red side, so this might be their moment if Chen can get some value there. But Vala is going to get taken out by the Artanis. And Shaggy's only got 1 panda left. If that one dies, he's toast. And there he goes. Gul'dan getting stunned out by the Immortal. Odium gonna be the next to fall, followed by Oriel. And it's a full team wipe with a full health Immortal going into the core. And this is looking like it's going to be game number 1 for Ban Cho. GG's coming out from Apollo. All right, let's take a quick look at these stats here. All right, so 4 kills to 18, very much in favor of Bancho on that game. We had significant race value, so they were able to get the Immortals, and on top of that, get that burn in the on the forts, all the way down to the keep in the top lane there. And ultimately, it was Gul'dan doing most of the siege damage, but hero damage heavily going to Vala. And it just goes to show you how much value this objective on Battlefield of Eternity can provide. 13 minutes and 20 seconds, basically. And they don't even need to be the top damage in anything to be able to win the game. Bluestein bringing out the healing, keeping his team alive quite well. And let's show these talents here once again. We didn't even, I don't know that we even got to see the root here out of Jaina. All right. Well, let's get checked out onto game number 2 here. Jimmy Jaina power, no doubt. Although, you know what? They didn't take the combo there with the ace in the hole. Hey, that's enough. She walked in from the other room entirely just to come by and say that, you guys. Just want you to know. All right, let's see if we can find out where we're going for game number 2. Guys, I'm going to put up a quick break for just a moment, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There is much for us to settle.
All right, we're just waiting on the map selection here. Looks like we're gonna go to Braxis here. So had a brief moment where we had to make sure what was going on. One of the team's captains is not here today, so working with another player on the team to get that to work here. Let's see. There we go. Get these teams in here. So game number 1 was won by Bancho. Let's go ahead and give them their point here. Game number 2 is going to be on Braxis Holdout, and it is selected also by Bancho. All right, looks like we've got everybody from that team. How's everybody doing tonight? 10:30. Getting up there later into the evening here. Just missing one player. And we can get started in this. Slexia, thank you very much for the 69 bits. Welcome. Glad that you could join us this evening. It looks like we've got everybody from both teams. Let's make sure that they got the right captain hats. Jeez. Are the captain hats okay? Sure, they say. All right, well then we're good to go. Let's get this started. Game number 2 on Braxis Holdout between Save the Murloc and Bancho. All right, so Braxis Holdout, a little bit of a different setup. We could still see the Chen. Is Chen able to, hold the point pretty decently here? And of course, they changed how the control points work, giving the Dragonshire style of control points over to Braxis Holdout. So a Chen, we even saw Artanis earlier today in the rewind, holding a point for quite some time against, I think it was an Imperius. And it's going to be the Johanna band. Johanna did provide a lot of value into that team, really slowing down the Vala. And once again, the Asmodan. So, there's got, at least on this map, I mean, I feel like Asmodan here gets a little bit more value because you've got the control points and all that, so it's a lot easier to stack in these games, especially later in the game. Asmodan can really bring down the Zerg waves a lot better. I see more value here than on Battlefield of Eternity. Map pick was Bancho. Let me pop that up while we got a second here as they're banning out the Ana. And again, you know what? Ana gets banned a lot. Generally a lower win rate for heroes in general. But she did really well in that last game, so that's fine. Quick look at the maps here. As mentioned, Battlefield was picked and won by Bancho. We got Braxis picked by Bancho, and we'll see who wins this game to know whether that was fortuitous, prophetic, whatever else we want to call it. So here we go with the first selection. So last time it was the Anub'arak. This time, Anub'arak, not the first pick. It's going to be Ragnaros. Now, Ragnaros, I think, lost value on this map. It's a fairly small map, so the lava wave, really doesn't get as much now, and it doesn't just eliminate 80% of the Zerg at this point. So I'm interested to see how this goes for them. And we're going to see some role swapping. That is one of the things that I do remember very specifically about Bancho is that they play a variety of heroes, but they play them on a variety of players as well. So Lucio and Diablo. Now Diablo, another one of those heroes that has generally been having a lower win rate lately. But oh my god. Bancho. Oh my goodness, I was going to say Brancho. I don't think Brancho is quite what we're looking for. Now, interestingly enough, Brax's Holdout, speaking of Bancho, one of the maps that you could select a Cho'Gall. However, that's not the direction they're going. I mean, I suppose they technically still could, but they just wouldn't have any healers. Rhaegar going to be the ban. And Rhaegar is not one that you see. If you pulled up the ban stats, I mean, I can't see Rhaegar being one of those common bans. In fact, I don't know that I've seen him banned personally at all. We are going to see the Kael'thas ban, so completely reasonable. Again, fairly small map, tight corridors, able to get some pretty significant value out of that Kael'thas on a map like this. All right, glasses are coming off. They're just annoying me. All right, so what's going with the Lucio? Who's going to take that top lane? What's our mage going to be? It looks like, well, I was going to suggest Orphea. I like that they took that. I like that. So Orphea and Hanzo. So really, their Zerg clear kind of changes up a little bit. It's not going to be super great in the early game. It'll be moderately okay with this, I think. But it'll get much better as the game goes on. We're going to see a Zarya and Lili coming out. Interesting. So Zarya, Greymane, ETC, and Lili will be bot. Ragnaros will be top. We're going to see who he's going to go against. And I think, I mean, there's a lot of options here that you could take. I mean, Rexxar would be fine. Hell, Artanis would be fine. Phoenix could be fine. But it's going to be Varian that they're going to take to face off against Ragnaros. No Choban. Not this game. We got it once. That's all we get tonight. I mean, we did get to see an Abathur, Murky, Valera, Rhaegar, Artanis comp. So, I mean, I feel like we got all of the spice we could possibly get out of tonight. That was not this game. That was the previous game. Alrighty then, so no banned heroes, no banned talents, no banned, well, hopefully no banned skins, although I think we're less likely to see most of those. Alright, game number 2 here. We've got Save the Murloc and Bancho. Let's get these teams introduced. We've got Corey on Lili, Shaggy on Zarya, Sean on Greymane, Apollo on ETC, and Odium Reigns on Ragnaros. And interestingly enough, Ragnaros is coming in the bot lane with the full 5-man, so we'll see how this goes. For Bancho, we've got Spice on Diablo, Skev on Varian, Bluestein on Orphea, Quinal on Hanzo, and Sluggaden on the Lucio. Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel the same way, Grievance. You know, so we'll see how they, how they build these heroes. I mean, they're kind of banking on the Greymane Zarya, so if they can counter the burst out of maybe Bluestein with the Zarya shields and keep her energy high. She did take Field of Heat, so that being said, the only player she's going to get that on is the Diablo. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes for them. It is going to allow them, if they can win the points, to win harder. So we'll see how that goes. Diablo charging in, I think, onto a minion. And ultimately getting just a lot of damage on that. And I think that's the reason, not because he charged the minion, but I think that's the reason why Diablo's really fallen out of favor, is because he kind of has to, his charge is primarily in engage. And if his team's not there really to support him in that, then he's just kind of screwed. Whereas a lot of these other heroes, you know, in ETC, doesn't have to be an engage. It can be a disengage. They've got the face melt. They're going to get a lot more damage onto the Diablo once again there. And I think that's why ETC's picked up in the meta a bit. You know, Johanna has her Iron Skin, and even Mal'Ganis has the Sleep. We see the Power Slide in, as well as the face melt, but now ETC all by himself as the entire team chasing him down. The flip, the Orphea Jaw just barely misses, but they do secure the kill. Lucio getting first blood out of that ETC. Level 3, so we don't have a real Varian yet. He's still just like Prince of Stormwind, basically. Sean going rather aggressively into this team with nobody surrounding him to help. 1v4. Takes about half of his health and free damage there. And ETC power sliding in. They are looking at Bluestein. Might be able to get this kill, and they do. What a kill. 3 versus 4 there with just the Lily and Greymane to support the ETC after that power slide, as Shaggy coming up into the top lane to secure the point, and that gives Save the Murloc the beginning of this channel. And once again, the channel has been changed, so if they can stay on this point, keep it above half, whatever value they get here is just free percentage. So they do lose the point eventually there, as Diablo actually getting a little low here, but Lily very low on mana at this point, and that was really questionable, walking right into the team. We see ETC power sliding in, maybe able to finish the Diablo. They do, and I'm surprised that Corey didn't die from the scatter arrow, but now Bluestein getting chased down by the Greymane. Oh, misses the cocktail. Oh, and one more hit. Oh no. Oh, if only he had the cocktail left over, that would have been a dead Orphea. And now ETC in danger is also coming up and shooting him in the back. 3 versus 2 here as the shield's going out. Shaggy keeping Greymane alive and building the energy on Zarya herself. And here we go. So now it's 4v4 in the bot lane. We'll see how this goes. Diablo has a few more souls. Bluestein getting just ripped to shreds. Is maybe able to make it away. And does not this time. The cocktail does succeed. ETC trying to get in on Diablo and does get that kill. Greymane just tearing up this backline from Bancho and ultimately succeeding on the Diablo as well. And we're going to see the backs from both Lucio and Greymane as the percent channeling away for Save the Murloc, and that's going to give the first Zerg wave over to them. And as I mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of Zerg clear at this level between this Hanzo and Orphea. But I think, you know, the changes really provide more value for this, you know, the single target. You do have the initial drop waves, you know, out of these Guardians and whatever the other ones are called, Ultralisks. So there is that, but I think the value comes in a you know, single target damage of being able to bring these down quickly so that they don't spawn a second wave. Just my opinion after thinking about it for all of about 5 seconds. So we do get the well down, and now Shaggy in there with that Feel the Heat, helping to burn down this fort. And as I mentioned earlier, that's a win harder talent for them, at least in this game. And it's really allowing them to get a lot of value out of this initial Zerg wave. ETC getting shoved into the wall, doesn't have the power slide to get away, but ultimately is able to just walk out. They don't quite get that successful body block. So they're not able to get the full fort down. Save the Murloc only got about 80-90% of it or so. But still a very strong push for the beginning of the game. The minimal Zerg wave here from Bancho, only able to get about 80% of that tower down, but Rag in danger here as Varian and Hanzo able to secure the kill. And we do see a meteor build from Ragnaros. Of course, there's been a lot of conversation about the Blast Wave build, the E talent. If you didn't get a chance to read Monkus's article on the hero, you should visit nexusgamingseries.org and check that out. Should be listed right there on the front page. Yeah, I mean, ETC's a strong hero at this point in the meta. He does get that personal armor. He's got a significant amount of CC and displacement. Stage Dive gives the potential for a global, and Mosh Pit is just Mosh Pit. So anytime you can get 4 people dancing together is a good time, right? And it looks like with Rag pushing up in the top lane here, they don't have a lot of this camp left, but it may be enough to finish off the top 4 here. And Hanzo very low, as looks like Varian's going to come up here and swap him out. Let Hanzo go back to base, fill up, and get ready for this next Zerg control. Right away, we see as the point coming up here, we've got Save the Murloc working on their camp, wanting to get the pressure in the bot lane now as well. Top lane, Rag versus Varian, especially at this point now that Varian has level 7, I think that very much heavily favors the Varian. Very difficult for Rag to deal with this auto attack, you know, sustain out of Varian at this level. But level 10s do come online slightly ahead for Save the Murloc. They've got the Lava Wave, Graviton Surge, Mosh Pit, which we see right away. There's the Graviton Surge is only onto the Lucio. I think that was kind of a misplay there, but they do get the kill. I don't think they needed both. Anyways, Go for the Throat is available, as well as the Jug of 1,000 Cups. So 2 ults used there. I guess 3 actually. Go for the Throat was used as well. So fairly lengthy cooldowns there. Lucio coming back up, so we should be able to see them engage on this here, especially with the Varian and Rag up in the top here. And let's see, did Varian take Shield Wall? He did not. He took Warbringer, so doesn't have the ability to reduce the damage coming out from those spell damage abilities that Rag has, but we've got a big fight here. We've got Jugs going out, keeping the blue side very healthy, and Spice coming in, charging ETC into the wall. The Eternal Feast coming out. Only lands for a couple of ticks of damage there, but it's enough to help secure them the point. Graviton Surge going out, looks like maybe blindly, as didn't land on anybody there. And Lucio popping that sound barrier, trying to keep everybody alive. The Diablo charges in with APOC, but not quite enough to get a kill there, as now Bluestein trying to get away from the grenades out of Zarya. Let's see, what do we have from Varian at level 1? He did take High King's Quest, so he's trying to get all of those globes for sure. And once again, a fight. Zarya going in with her shield, building up that energy. She's at full energy. The Hanzo arrow hitting the backline. Manages to get 2 stunned there, and ETC in a bit of danger here. Gets booped back. They're trying to bring him down, but his face melt knocks them away, and the channel begins once again for Ban Cho. Shaggy very low here. And ETC coming in with a mosh, but the big save out of Lucio. Graviton Surge as well, and behind prevents Diablo from getting away, and the kill onto Orphea, as well as Diablo following up onto the kill with Lucio, is gonna be fantastic for Save the Murloc right now against this full Zerg wave coming up in the top lane. Hey, welcome Butte Holiday. Glad you could join us. We're on game 2 between Bancho and Save the Murloc. And here comes Ragnaros to slow down the advance of the Zerg. Looks like ETC down here able to secure the kill onto Diablo. Sorry I missed that one, folks. I thought that most of the action would be up top, but instead they're just electing to push. And we saw a little bit of this in the earlier cast as well, for not for this match, but for the game before this, with a Juice Pirates build, and it ended up not quite working out for them. It was close, 7% on the core, but ultimately trading fort for fort. And 1 kill for 1 kill. Level 13 is available now here for Save the Murloc. Still one, I'm sorry, 2 minions here, just a couple of little ones, and I guess they do drop them. So there we go. I don't remember who I was talking to earlier that I didn't think that these dropped pods, but I guess they do. So lots of ults. We did see that Eternal Feast there, and ETC now trying to get away, gets the power slide in. Do they secure the kill on Varian? Not quite yet, but they do eventually, and they also get the kill onto Lucio as part of that transaction as well. Ragnaros coming up to finish off the top lane, and it looks like we see Save the Murloc coming now to pick up this boss, and with Varian and Lucio both down for a good long time, this is a nice, easy, comfortable call for them. And Corey going back, filling up on the mana bar there. I'm curious, what did she take at 13 there? Mass Vortex, increasing the number of people that get blinded to 3. And increases that damage if they're all heroes as well. So an interesting talent at level 13 for ETC, giving that slow, and I think that's often one of the more common picks. I don't know, with the style of control on this map, I think I almost would have liked either of his other level 13s. Being able to knock them out more regularly could help to channel the objective a little bit better. You know, even the second knockback, which I can't remember the name of, Encore maybe, could provide that same value. So Save the Murloc coming down here is able to get the wall with this bruiser camp, and it's 5 versus 5, so they're going to go ahead and back away. They do have level 16s now, though. We've got that Executioner from, and there you go, that's why. Executioner for Greymane, so now the slows are going to proc Greymane's additional damage. The Power Slide armor as well for ETC, going to be really strong here, and it looks like they're trying to set up to take a fight. Orphe had 37 stacks on her E-Quest, not quite enough to get the reduced cooldown when she hits people with the tip of her Dread. And now we see, I don't like this. I was going to say, Diablo, I don't know that you want to do this, buddy. 4 versus 5. You don't have Varian. He's up top lane, and you're down a Talontier, and it's a big Talontier at that. Diablo 100% on an island over here. And good scouting out by Quinal to identify where the team is located and get vision onto 3 or 4 of them, I think. Varian up top, just hanging out in this bush. I think I would have liked to have seen him up in the top bush, at least getting the soak. And with that, Save the Murloc's going to go ahead and pick up the camp. They can be a little bit more passive in this because they've got pressure in both lanes, and there's the power slide in onto Diablo. Again, he's all by himself. He is gonna power or shadow charge his way out. Lucio gonna pop the sound barrier. Graviton Surge keeping Diablo busy for quite some time, and it is going to be the kill onto the Lord of Terror. And it looks like with the lava wave here, they're gonna push up and pressure this keep. And with Varian in the top doing that camp here, Sluggadin taking a boatload of damage from that lava wave. This could very well be the keep here. Big dragon arrow though. Lili very low, has to pull back. And ETC going in, power slides, knocks him away. They do get the keep, and this is the time for them to just, you know, go ahead and back out. Diablo's coming back up. He's got 29 souls, so not super healthy. And now Reg's going to come up, clear up the top lane. I'm surprised that that nobody's rotated up to start getting onto this point. We do see the pings coming out as well. So Varian's going to see them on this. He's still at the very beginning of this camp. Goodbye, Varian. Maybe. Maybe not. He managed to get away, but now we're going to see the rotation from the rest of the team. Just a little bit too late to stop the camp, but they do get the overlapping again with the Graviton Surge and Mosh Pit, but the Eternal Feast is going to go out. I thought we had a kill there. There it is. Varian does end up dying to Greymane, but Orphea gets the kill onto the ETC. And APOC coming out doesn't hit anybody there. Corey just getting really low, and Dragon's Arrow should be able to secure that kill. It does. Hanzo then following up on the Greymane, and we've got Orphea and Lucio chasing down Zarya. They don't care about her shields. Shadow charges in and knocks her against that wall, and it looks like Hanzo able to secure the 5-man team wipe in the top lane against Ragnaros. Bancho coming back with a vengeance, losing their keep and making a full 5-man team wipe, and now it's their turn for a boss. Diablo getting very low, has to be careful now. Maybe share a little bit of the damage from the boss here. Let's check out those 16 talents as well for Bancho. Zerg wave is getting channeled. It's almost to 100%. I thought they were coming over to do that camp and send it all together, but they're not. But they do have a full Zerg wave going in the bot lane along with the boss. Minimal Zerg wave up top, so I mean it still can provide pressure, but it's just not going to do nearly as much. Lava wave coming through here is going to clear out some of the weaker versions of the Zerg. But this boss is just going to just melt the fort. It's just gone. Get out of here. And now the Zerg wave onto the front line here. Boss once again just tearing through these structures. Ragnaros popping that Molten Core, trying to get what damage he can out there before the boss just breaks him right out. And Skev going in deep by himself, does get caught by the Graviton Surge. Lucio popping the Sound Barrier, keeps him alive, and this boss is still healthy, and all of these, whatever the floating ones are called, coming in as well. No deaths yet. Level 20s soon coming up for Save the Murloc, but they may not make it there, as Apollo getting a big mosh pit in the back line, getting Quinal very low, but he's going to die first. And now, if they can just secure some kills, they may be able to slow this push down and finish the boss, but they don't get it. Bancho getting 4 kills and ultimately getting their own level 20s and finishing the game with that boss and Zerg combo. GG. All right, and that's going to be game number 2 going over to Bancho. Let's give them their point. It was a much closer game. We did see, you know, Save the Murloc really had that fight in them for the early game. Really pulled out the pressure, had some pretty good mosh pits. I think the really questionable moments were just in the overlap of the mosh and Graviton Surge, rather. And I think if they played those just a little bit better, then, you know, some of those almost kills or almost wipes would have turned into just straight up wipes. See if we can get Bluestein in for an interview. Take a look at these stats here real quick while we've got a moment, waiting on Bluestein. And of course the talents, I did pop those up at the end of the game there, but may as well take a look at those. Let's go ahead and set up for our interview, and there we go. So we already have the appropriate color popping up on the screen for us. Love to see it. All right. Any questions from chat that you guys would like to ask of Bluestein? Please take a moment, pop them up in chat so that they're available. All right, and it looks like we've got Bluestein here. Congratulations on your victory there. How you feeling after that?
We were sweating pretty hard in that second game for sure.
That second game was a lot closer than that first game, wasn't it?
Yeah, they played a hell of a game on Braxis there.
Yeah, for sure. And I was a little bit surprised, you know, checking out your guys' draft. You know, you didn't have a lot of real good Zerg clear early in the game. And of course, that's when they managed to pick up the Zerg and push hard with it. Even pushing opposite your guys' Zerg wave. The second Zerg, I think, was the one where they, you know, got your fort down and you traded out up in the top lane. But ultimately, you know, you guys had a lot of control in that game and got ultimately two, I guess, one full team wipe and one almost team wipe there at the end. You didn't quite get the Ragnaros kill, but yeah, I mean, ultimately successful. So great job on that. All right, Skev is asking me to ask you what you think of Tyrande.
I don't know. She's my favorite hero, I think. I'm just glad she's in a place where you can play her again instead of just being that like useless joke she was a year ago.
Fair enough. I want you to know that I appreciated that useless joke when you could play her on Cursed Hollow and throw out the Sentinel quest and one-shot the Abathurs.
Yeah, everyone hated me for picking her back then.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, you know what? So let's talk here just real quick here about game number 1 on BOE. So you guys picked that map. There was a little bit of consternation in chat about the Raynor taking Exterminator instead of Ace in the Hole with, you know, how much combo you guys had with that. But it was a very strong game. So, you know, going into their comp, starting off with the Anubrak, you know, first of all, did that change anything about what you guys were planning with your draft? And if so, why? And what was your plan going into it? How did you want to win that game? And ultimately, what was successful for you?
Well, as that draft kind of transpired, we kind of noticed that we were going to have a pretty good advantage on the race. And then at the same time, like if it came to disrupting, like we could run a 4-man on the objective and have Joanna kind of meander in between back and forth. So we felt pretty comfortable in being able to finish the objective and stay relatively safe at the same time. So the draft really panned out the way that we wanted it to before the match actually started, as things kind of fell into place. So we felt really comfortable at the start of that one, and I think it showed in the match as well.
Sure. And you know what? There was one thing about game number 1 that I absolutely 100% cannot let go by, because it was brought up in chat that this may very well be the first time that you guys followed your name and actually banned Joe.
Yeah, well, because they had a Nub, Oriole, and
Vala.
I can't remember. Yeah, and immediately, like, I don't know, when you get like Oriole and a Nub and Vala, it kind of raised red flags right away. So I can't remember who else we had lined up for a ban, but the second that Oriole Vala came out, we just weren't willing to take the risk at that point and stay true to the namesake for once.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think that I agree with you, and I think most of chat agrees with you that, you know, whoever else you were planning to ban, it was ultimately a good ban. You know, they ended up taking Chen and Gul'dan into that, and, you know, Gul'dan is another good one for Oriole, but ultimately, you know, having that Cho'Gall on that map would have been a little bit more scary, I think, than what you guys ended up having to deal with.
Yeah, I agree.
So then you head over to game number 2. So we go to Braxis Holdout, and you guys draft in. First of all, you change your roles around a little bit. Obviously, you know, changing. If I remember correctly, you were on Ana first, and then you switched over to the Orphea, correct?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I remember specifically about you guys when we played you is that you guys do a lot of role swapping. And is there, like, do you guys kind of do that regularly? Do you just have a list of heroes that you guys like to play and then build kind of around that?
Yeah, I would excuse me. I would say that's mostly the case. Like, I think we probably all have a comfort playing maybe 2 or 3 roles in general. And then within those roles, we all kind of have comfort picks that aren't necessarily attached to just being a support or attached to just being a bruiser or, you know, dealing damage or whatever the case is. So I think that at times is an advantage and at times a detriment. But overall, you know, in the end, it's more about playing the heroes we enjoy playing. And I think that throwing a curveball once in a while, especially in the position that we're in right now, isn't necessarily a bad thing. And you kind of don't want to get into that typecast kind of thing where you're like, okay, so-and-so is going to play this character, and it kind of makes things a little predictable. So we'd rather avoid that.
Sure, and let me tell you, scouting you guys at the end of the season last season was a big pain in the neck for my spreadsheet that I created. I had to actually do something different for you guys because of that fact. So thanks for making me spend more time doing that.
If I recall, your spreadsheet probably worked because I think you guys gave us a whipping.
I think we did too, but but that's ancient history at this point. You know, so tell me a little bit about, you know, what the plan is with your draft here. So you've got the Varian, the Orphea, the Lucio, Diablo, and Hanzo. So, you know, on a Braxis holdout style map, like I mentioned earlier, it was a little bit lower on the Zerg clear. So what was your plan going into this, and how much of this was adjusted when you started seeing the way that their draft was building?
So it was just a couple comfort picks on the map specifically. So we just wanted to be able to, like, there's obviously a lot of skirmishing over like such a small point. There's also, yeah, there's just like a ton going on. It's not one of those maps where it there's like a low action at any point really. So we just wanted, like, Lucio's obviously great at healing a bunch of people all at once. So we wanted that like consistent upkeep to be able to come in and out of fights. And we feel like Orphea is a character where she's throwing out like a ton of spells, obviously, but her mana doesn't, like, she has good mana management, or it's easy to manage her mana. So yeah, we just felt like, and we saved Varian for the end. We had a couple picks there lined up depending on how we wanted to face Reg. So mostly we and Braxis, I think we played off of their picks / like a few comfort picks for us. Whereas in BOE, we were kind of set, and things fell into place.
Sure. Well, and you know what? You guys got that big team wipe. You get the boss. It goes in the bot lane with your Zerg wave, and I mean, just like on Tomb of the Spider Queen with an objective plus boss in the top lane, you know, it was absolutely incredible how much damage that put out. I mean, because that you still had a fort up in that lane too to go through,
yeah,
and all the way to the core.
Yeah, it was all just good timing. Like, I feel like the guys did a really good job. Like, we were behind Talontier most of that game. We were never too far, but we were definitely behind for the majority of it. So we were just trying to stay close. I think there was on their boss defense, when they got boss, we were down to Talontier, so we were able to defend that, come back down. Nobody died, and then I think that's where we really start to make ground and we're able to turn it around.
Agreed. Well, you know what? It was a fantastic series to watch. You guys get a 2-0, which was very much needed for your standings here. So that's going to put you up to, 8 points, which puts you right now in 9th place behind Calculated Throw by 1. But you still have, you know, much like C East of last season, you still have a fair number of games to get through. So don't forget to schedule flex matches as your... we'll say secondary div mod. I'd like to point that out.
Yeah, I think we're all scheduled now, actually, or there might be one flex left. We got a match tomorrow, and then in terms of standings, I think we still have to play Calculated Throw, which is always a close matchup for us. So we feel like we had a slow start, but our playoff lives are in our own hands at this point, which is all you can really ask for.
Absolutely true. Yeah, I mean, if you get some good dominations here, you guys still have 5 or so games left between your yeah, 5 games, right? 7, 8, and then the 3 flex matches. So you know, you could find yourself, you know, easily square in the middle of the pack there, doing really well. So do your homework, and we'll see where you come out here. And you've got a game, you said, with Regen Anomaly tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
All right. Well, you know, I got to give props to my boys over at boys and girls over at Regen Anomaly. But you know, I expect that'll be a great game. Unfortunately, I have a raid, so I won't be able to watch it live. But I'm sure both teams will do quite well. Before we take off for the evening, you know, there was a list of questions that I asked for in the captain's channel, and I'd like to ask this one because it's just a good one. You know, what was your most enjoyable or favorite moment in the match today?
I'd say on BOE when there was just a moment when I think whoever their Gul'dan was had like a massive horrify at the bottom, and we had like 3 or 4 people down to like a tick of life, and all the guys just knew right away to like clump up so I could throw that grenade on them, and we were able to turn it around like right away. They just did a great job staying alive. Everyone played really well today, so I'm just proud of the boys. They played great.
Sure. No, that was a great play. If I remember correctly, that was near their bottom keep.
Yeah, it was. It was during that last push with the Immortal.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Bluestein, I appreciate you stopping by. Before we let you go, any shout outs? The floor is yours.
Just a shout out to all the guys, and our 5th who sat, or our 6th who sat out tonight, usually plays with us. I'm gonna say his name wrong, but Shu Shui. So big shout out to all the guys. Thanks.
Good deal. Well, thanks again for joining me. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Who was that?
That's my fiance.
All right, well, tell your fiance bye.
Cameo appearance right there.
Well enough. All right. All right, everybody. That is going to be the end of the evening. And it won't let me disconnect out of there. Oh, can I mute? There we go. That's going to be the end of the evening. 2-0 for Ban Cho over Save the Murloc. just a jacket. So congratulations to Ban Cho on their victory as they start working on their climb up into the standings of Division C East. As a reminder, not just to Ban Cho, but to everybody out there, make sure that you get your flex matches in. I'm going to go start checking the flex match list for Division C. So you're going to see an update to that spreadsheet in C chat here in just a few moments. So make sure you check that. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great time today. We had 4 matches that were cast as part of the rewind. We got to see a live cast just before this one between FF and the Pancakes and wow, I'm already screwing up the names. 2 Calculated to Throw. Was going to say the wrong one there. Oh, you know what? I need to get a Hawaiian shirt. And now game number 6 here between Save the Murloc and Ban Cho. So appreciate everybody stopping by, joining me for the casts today. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.